Welcome to the High Library. Welcome to the Circulation Desk, and welcome to the first video of this online training. My name is Clarissa. I'm the Access Services Librarian and the supervisor for the students that work at the Circ Desk. This video is going to briefly go into my expectations and what work at the desk is like. Whether your shift begins at 10 in the morning or 9 at night, you will have designated shift responsibilities. These may include mailing interlibrary loan, scanning articles, or shelving. The purpose is to ensure that all the work that needs to happen at the library is spread evenly throughout the day. On the Circ Desk, you can find a list of all the shift responsibilities organized by day of the week and time. If you forget how to do something, or if you're substituting for a shift that you don't normally work, there are step-by-step directions for all shift responsibilities. Information on where to find those directions is on the sign. And of course, if the directions aren't enough, you can always ask for help. Customer service is our #1 priority at the Circ Desk. We help students, faculty, staff, community members, anyone that comes in needing our help. While you are at the Circ Desk, assuming you have done your shift responsibilities, you are free to do homework, read, etc., but make sure that you are staying alert and looking available. I don't mind cell phones at the desk, but I request that you refrain from using them too much, as it can make you look distracted and people might be less likely to approach you with questions. For the same reason, while you are welcome to use headphones away from the desk, at the desk, I ask headphones off, please. Because we are very often the first people that folks see when they walk in the door, we tend to get asked questions. There are 3 main types of questions you can expect. The first being policy questions, things like, how much do you fine? How do I become a friend at the library? How many renewals do I get? You can find the answers to these questions in the policy section of the Circ binder, or by checking the About the Library page of the library website. Some things, like library hours, are also posted around the desk. We also get asked when people are having trouble with technology. For example, if the printer is jammed, someone can't connect to Wi-Fi, or the coffee kiosk is malfunctioning. Again, you can find solutions to some of these problems in the Circ binder, which has a technology section, as well as a section on the Starbucks kiosk. There is also a manual for the Starbucks kiosk, which is located in a drawer next to the kiosk. Sometimes with technology issues, you can just poke around and figure it out. For example, fixing a printer jam is usually just a matter of opening panels until you find the paper stuck in there. But if you can't fix the problem, report it and put up an out-of-order sign. There's a link to the issue reporting form on the desktop of the Circ computer. It looks like that. Out-of-order signs can be found in the forms binder. Finally, people will ask us research questions like, how do I use this database? Can you help me find sources for this project? If you are asked a research question and there is somebody at the Ask a Librarian desk, please send them over there. That's what the Ask a Librarian desk is for. Otherwise, you can direct them to the Ask a Librarian chat on our website. You may have seen the chat box looking like that. Or you might know something about using library databases or the library catalog, both from working here and from your classes. So if you think you can help them and there's no reference librarian, please do so. But even if you do help them, and even if you do think you've solved their problem, please do direct them to the Ask a Librarian chat anyway, in case they have any follow-up questions. Because it is our responsibility to keep the desk staffed, it's important that you do not be late for your shift. If you are going to be more than 5 minutes late, please let someone know. On weekdays before 4 o'clock, that someone is me. Weekdays after 4 o'clock or on weekends, you will need to call the Circ Desk and work something out. This may mean that another librarian watches the desk for a little, that the student with the shift before you stays a little late, or that your partner on the desk is alone for a little. Occasional lateness is not ideal, but it happens. Chronic lateness will be met with a spoken warning, followed by a written warning, followed, if nothing is resolved, by a meeting. If you think lateness might be an issue, for example, if you have a professor who keeps running late or you have a long walk from class, please let me know as soon as possible so we can come up with a solution. If you are unable to make a shift, you will need to arrange a substitute. We use an app called Bands, which is basically a scaled-down social media site to request shifts. You'll want to request as far in advance as you can to increase the possibility that someone who can fill your shift sees it. You'll need to share the time and date of the shift you need covered. If you already have coverage lined up, for example, if a friend offers to swap shifts with you, please post on bands anyway so that I know what's going on. In that case, you'll just want to share the name of the person covering for you in the post along with the time and date. You are responsible for your shifts, so if you can't get a sub, you are expected to come in. Of course, if there's an emergency, you can contact me about it. Currently, we have a pretty good track record of people finding substitutes, and I want to keep that going, but it requires your help. So please keep an eye on the Bands app, and if there is a shift that you can substitute for, please offer to substitute. If a problem arises on your shift, or if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, etc., in general, please contact me. If I'm in my office, you can always pop your head in and ask. My door is usually open. If it's closed, just knock. I'm probably in a meeting, but I might be able to help you anyway. If you need to contact me when I'm not in the library, you can email me at grunwaldc@etown.edu, or you can send me a text at 484-838-5553. Text is better if you need a faster response. Email is better if you need a longer response. Both work fine. If you need to contact another student who works here, you can send a DM through the Bands app or use the contact information which is in the binder. You can also leave a note at the desk. This works great if you want to get info out to a student a shift or two after you. However, be aware with the notes that they tend to wind up in the trash sooner rather than later, so they're not the most reliable way to get information to people many shifts later. If you need to contact a library staff member who isn't me, Sarah, the library director, is your secondary contact, and her email is penimans@etown.edu. So in conclusion, be friendly, be reliable, be on time, show up for your shifts, help users to the best of your ability, and if anything comes up, please communicate about it. And we should have a great year. Please continue on to the rest of the lessons in this module, and I look forward to meeting you in late August.